Mike, you're with the City of Greenville. A pretty impressive project at the end of the day.
Yep.
In your view, as the end client, how did the process go for you? Are you happy with it?
Yep.
Are you pleased?
I'm very pleased. Our goal all along was to try to find a structure that complemented the industry that we're in, which is public service and public works. The architect understood our vision, what we were trying to accomplish, and the contractor understood that we were trying to bring this project in on schedule and on budget. And I think we did, not only did we do those things, but we brought this project in under budget and ahead of schedule, 2 months ahead of schedule, which is really unheard of in this business.
I'm with the general contractor of this project. Will, tell us about the scope of what these buildings are, how many there are, and what they're used for.
These buildings are a new campus for the City of Greenville Public Works Division, and there are 4 buildings on this property. The 50,000 square foot facility at the very back of the property is the Fleet Services building, which houses all of the heavy maintenance and does all of the heavy mechanical work for fleet services for the city. The building here just behind us is the operations building for the city. It's about a 30,000 square foot structure that houses some administrative space, a mixture of workshops, and a lot of training space for the city. There's a 15,000 foot building that's the administration building for this site that houses all of the offices. A lot more architectural features to that building, but that's where all the administrative space for the people that run the departments out here are housed. And then the 4th building is just a fuel island and a fuel services and truck wash building here that services the City of Greenville's fleet.
How do you give the client an idea of how it's going to look and how it's all going to work?
We were able to use the building information models initially provided to us by Ceco on the structural models, and then basically did all of our coordination through the building information models to give the mechanical, electrical, plumbing trades, and then the architectural finishes that were ultimately desired. We were able to coordinate that with the owner. With Ceco's help, we were able to deliver this entire campus in about 10 months.
Douglas, as the architect on this project, talk to us about how the whole thing got started.
Well, we were hired by the City of Greenville, and it became a very great project for us. So the City Council hired us. We met with them to do some programming to learn what their needs were and how that they wanted to put the project together. And at that point, we were able to bring on board Harper Corporation for the general contractor. And that allowed us then to bring the subcontractors into play, particularly the pre-engineered metal building consultant and engineers, which allowed us to closely look at the way that the buildings were going to go together and how that the steel could be conformed to the architectural design.
Ken, you're with Prosteel, a Ceco builder for many, many years, but you're not the general contractor on this project, which is a bit of a unique situation because you don't do a lot of projects where you're not also the GC, right?
That's correct. In this particular job, we're Furnish and Erect contractors. We supply products, in this case Ceco building, and or we're responsible for the erection, installation of the structure, and that is our scope, along with subcontractor coordinations with other trades. The team that was put together for this project, between the contractor, Harper Corporation, DP3 as the architect, and then the sub-selections that they made on this job, it really went together well. We had great supervision in the field, and the biggest thing was when an item became an item, when it needed to be addressed, it was addressed and taken care of right away because everybody was involved in a team concept.
Early on, the city wanted to do, as I said, a 50-year building, and they also wanted it to be sustainable. So we looked at what all we could do to be within budget and to promote sustainability. So for example, the white roofs are very highly reflective of the sun, so we've reduced the solar heat gain with that. We also use the insulated pre-engineered metal building panel, and so on the roofs it's an R30 and it's an R21 on the walls. We use 2 different profiles in a couple of different ways. We looked at colors, we mixed those together in the gray tones. So all of that together kind of created an envelope that really is green and sustainable. So in the Fleet building, for example, which is not conditioned, on a really hot summer day, it's very comfortable inside.
Brandon Wooten, you're a relatively new DSM, and this project, a big one like this, just kind of landed on your lap. But now you're charged with the responsibility of being the conduit between Ceco on one side and the builder and the client on the other side.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, that's my main focus. Once coming in the middle of the project is just to make sure everyone's on the same page. The office is communicating with the builder's communicating with the office. Just getting the right information in the hands of the right people and make sure everything's moving forward.
It was a partnership between the city, the architect, and the contractor. We all had a vision in mind of what we wanted this facility to look like. It had to have a certain appearance. We originally started out with a $26 million budget, and we went through a value engineering process where we had to scale some things back. But because of the building materials we used on this project, I think that made it very successful. And not only did we bring this project in under budget and ahead of schedule, like I said earlier, but we think we've built a 50-year building here that's going to stand the test of time, and we could not be more proud of what we ended up with.